So just I am repeating that respiration is the breaking down of glucose in the presence of oxygen to release carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so if in a simple way, if I will define respiration, then we can say that, see, when we are taking food, means that food particles, they get digested by our digestive system, and by the digestion of the food, some of the nutrients are released into our body, but that nutrients are again needed to be broken down to release energy. Okay, because our body needs energy to carry out different works or different function throughout our daily life. That's why whenever we are taking food, by the digestion of the food, the nutrients that are released into our body, that nutrients are needed to be broken down, and that broken down of food, or that broken down of glucose in the presence of oxygen, is known as respiration. Okay, so nutrient we can get from the food that we are taking. From where we will get oxygen? We will get oxygen from the atmosphere. Or the plants, from where they will get oxygen? They will get oxygen from the atmosphere. Okay, so both the plants and animals, they can intake oxygen from the atmosphere. Plants also take oxygen from atmosphere, and animal also, but we have a special organ to take oxygen into our body, but plants do not have such special organ. Later on we will discuss how plants undergo respiration. Okay, so by uptaking of oxygen from the atmosphere, the food particle or the glucose which are present inside our body, they react with oxygen and they form carbon dioxide, water and energy. Carbon dioxide and water are the two byproducts. Means carbon dioxide, here it acts as a waste product, and again we exhale carbon dioxide. That's why we inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide in plants, and both in plants and animals, after the formation of carbon dioxide and water, as a byproduct or as a waste product, it gets released out from the body. And what about the energy? That energy are used to do several works in our day-to-day life. Okay, so let us learn some more details about respiration. These are the fundamental thing that already we have done in the earlier classes, that already I have repeated, but some more extra thing that we need to know. Let us move on to that. So respiration, we can say, here we can write the word equation for respiration. How, what equation? Okay, later on in aerobic and anaerobic respiration, there we will go for the word equation and chemical equation. So here only the definition what we can write. Respiration is the broken down of glucose in the presence of oxygen to release carbon dioxide, water and energy. Okay, and that energy are utilized by our body, and that carbon dioxide and water, they are released out of the body. Okay, so there are some steps that are involved in the process of respiration. Let us see what are the steps that are involved in the process of respiration. Okay, so the first step needed in respiration is inhalation, taking of oxygen. Okay, so here I have written air is taken into the body. Air contains oxygen, and the first step in respiration is we have to take, or plants, they take air inside their body. Air here in turn we are using for oxygen. Okay, we have to take oxygen into our body. Okay, next, then glucose is broken down. If you will take the example of plants, okay, here as we are discussing the plant life, here I am discussing about plants. Okay, so glucose is broken down. Where from they will get glucose? By photosynthesis. By undergoing photosynthesis, already they store glucose, and when they take oxygen from the atmosphere, after that formed glucose inside their body, that will break down. So that will be in the third step. So the first step is taking of air. Second step is glucose is broken down. Glucose will be broken down in presence of what? Oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water and energy. Glucose will be broken down to produce carbon dioxide, water, energy. If we will take the body of animal, then the food that we are taking, from there we are getting glucose, and we can inhale oxygen from the atmosphere, and that glucose will be broken down in presence of oxygen. Next, energy is stored. Here you can see energy by the broken down of glucose. What will release? Carbon dioxide, water and energy. That energy formed will be stored inside our body. And which one is the storehouse or powerhouse of our body? Mitochondria. Okay, mitochondria helps in the storage of most of the energy of our body, and whenever our body needs, mitochondria will provide energy to our body. Okay. Next, the last step is waste products such as carbon dioxide and water are released out from the body. Okay, already we have discussed this point. So the last point is, as a byproduct, the carbon dioxide and water that are formed during the respiration, that will release out of the body. Okay, so this is all about the steps in respiration, both in plants and animals. Only the difference is animals have a special organ for respiration, but that is nose. But plants do not have a special organ. They generally undergo respiration from stomata. Okay, that we will discuss later on. Okay, by the ending of this topic, I will discuss that. So this is the general steps that are involved in the process of respiration. Again, go through the step. If you get any doubt, then again you can ask me. Okay. Next, we can see types of respiration. What all are the types of respiration? There are, we can talk about here two types of respiration. One is the aerobic respiration, another is the anaerobic respiration. Okay, aerobic means air. Okay, and air we are using for what? We are using for oxygen. Means the respiration which takes place in presence of oxygen is known as aerobic respiration, and respiration which takes place in absence of oxygen is known as anaerobic respiration. This is the first difference, just remember. The aerobic respiration is the respiration taking place in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic respiration is the respiration taking place in absence of oxygen. Okay, so here we can write the word equation for aerobic respiration. What happened in aerobic respiration? In aerobic respiration, glucose, here directly I am writing the chemical equation. Okay, glucose in presence of oxygen, it will form carbon dioxide plus water plus energy in the form of ATP. Here I have written, you can see, energy in the form of ATP. The full form of ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Okay, in higher class you will read more details about this. ATP is a energy particle which is stored inside the mitochondria, and whenever our body needs, okay, or we can say ATP is an energy current or energy currency of our body. Okay, so whenever our body needs energy, this ATP comes out from the mitochondria. So ATP, the full form of ATP is adenosine triphosphate, and ATP is also known as the energy currency of our body. It means whenever our body needs energy, ATP will release out from mitochondria. Okay, so this is the equation for aerobic respiration. Here I am not writing the word equation. I hope you all are writing by these all as I said earlier. While I am teaching, you also be with your pen and copy, so that all the things that we are discussing, that you can note it down. Okay, so here in aerobic respiration, we can write the equation as glucose will break down in presence of oxygen. From where we will get, from where the plants they will get glucose? They store glucose by undergoing photosynthesis. Animals, from where they will get glucose? By the food that they are taking. Okay, so the glucose that is stored inside our body that is broken down in presence of oxygen that both plants and animals they are taking from the atmosphere. And by the breaking down of glucose in presence of oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide, water and ATP. Here I have written 38 ATP, means in the breaking down of one glucose molecule, 38 ATP will release. Got it? This is a important short question. How many ATPs are produced by the breaking down of a single glucose molecule? 38 ATP means, see how 38 ATP is not very less. The in aerobic respiration the amount of energy formed is very more, or it is high as compared to the what anaerobic respiration that we discuss now. Got it? So this is all about the aerobic respiration here. This is the main thing in presence of oxygen. That's why it is known as aerobic respiration. Okay? So we can define aerobic respiration as the broken down of or the breaking down of glucose in presence of oxygen is known as aerobic respiration. So what about anaerobic respiration? As I said, in anaerobic respiration, glucose for the breaking down of glucose, no, oxygen is needed. Got it? So here we can write the equation as glucose will be broken down in absence of oxygen to form alcohol. Carbon dioxide, okay, to form alcohol and carbon dioxide plus energy also. Got it? So this is also known as ethanol. Okay, it is alcohols are of also various kind, ethanol and all. You will read it in higher class. Okay, just remember alcohol. So glucose will break down in absence of oxygen to produce alcohol, carbon dioxide and ATP, and you can find a significant difference. Here the number of ATP produced are 38, but here only two numbers of ATPs are produced. So if you will compare the energy production of energy production in aerobic and anaerobic respiration, then in aerobic respiration the energy production will be higher than the anaerobic respiration. You can see here it is about 38 ATP produced in the aerobic respiration, but in the anaerobic respiration it is only 2 ATP. Got it? So this is the equation for aerobic respiration. Again here I am not writing the whole equation, you can write it by your own. In your book also it is given. Okay? So here glucose breaks down in absence of oxygen. Here you can see oxygen is present, but here no oxygen you can find. That's why it is known as anaerobic respiration. Glucose is broken down in absence of oxygen to form alcohol, carbon dioxide and ATP, and here energy production is very much low. So this anaerobic respiration takes place by certain yeast. Okay, and in alcohol industry for the formation of different alcohols like wines, beers and all, for the formation of alcohols in the alcohol industries they use several microorganisms. Like yeast is the most commonly used microorganism for the production of alcohol. Okay, in alcohol industries. So the formation of alcohol is by the process of anaerobic respiration. Got it? I hope now you all are clear about the two types of respiration. It is very simple. The two types of respiration are aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration needs oxygen and aerobic respiration do not need oxygen. Okay, this is the main difference. Aerobic respiration relieves more energy than the anaerobic respiration. 38 ATP in aerobic and 2 ATP in anaerobic. Got it? So this is all about the types of respiration. If we will talk about the respiration in plants. Okay, so here we are talking about both, we are talking respiration in terms of both plants and animals, but specifically if we will talk about the respiration in plants, two cells, two bean-shaped cells. They are known as what? Guard cells. Already we have discussed this topic. Okay. So these are the stomatal pores. Okay. These pores are very small, very minute. You cannot see by your naked eyes. Anyhow, we can see the stomata under microscope. Okay. When you go to your higher class, you will have several experiments. Then you can see stomata in microscope. Okay. So here, let us discuss how plants undergo respiration by stomata. Okay. So here you can see stomata's got special pores. Okay. They got pores, and during daytime the stomata will open. Why it will open? That already we have discussed. I am not discussing. Okay. So during daytime the stomata are open, and during night time it is closed. So what happened? So during daytime, due to the absence or due to the insufficiency of oxygen, insufficiency of carbon dioxide inside the leaf, and the more presence of carbon dioxide outside the leaf enables the carbon dioxide to go inside. So what happened? More carbon dioxide. Here we are talking about daytime. Okay. More carbon dioxide, and here less carbon dioxide. Here the carbon dioxide is more, and inside the leaf carbon dioxide amount is less. So diffusion takes place. Okay. What diffusion? Outward diffusion. Inward diffusion. Here inward diffusion means the carbon dioxide, it will go or it will move inside the leaf by the stomatal pore, and leaf will undergo photosynthesis. Okay. But during night time what happened? Generally remember, plants undergo respiration during night. Okay. So during night time what happens? Stomata are not fully closed. It also have small pore. See, during day the pore will be little large, but during night the pore will be minimized. So what happened? During daytime, by taking carbon dioxide, they have produced what? Glucose, and they have stored glucose in the leaf. And during night what happened? They will take oxygen from the atmosphere. During daytime they will take carbon dioxide, and during night they will take oxygen from the atmosphere. And when glucose comes in contact with oxygen, the breaking down of glucose takes place to release what? To release carbon dioxide, water, and energy. And this carbon dioxide, as a byproduct, it will be again released out of the stomata. It will be again released out of the stomata. Got it? Here I am talking about photosynthesis. Here I am talking about respiration. During daytime, plants will inhale carbon dioxide, and they will undergo photosynthesis. I am not going in details about photosynthesis, already we have discussed. But during night time, they will take oxygen from the atmosphere by the help of stomata. In their leaves, they got stomata, and over their stem, they got lenticles. Okay, lenticles are also small pores. Stomatas are present on leaf surface, and lenticles are present on the woody stems. Okay. So here, during night time what happened? This leaf, they will take oxygen inside, and the stored glucose that they have prepared during daytime, when they they had photosynthesis during daytime, they store glucose. Okay, and this glucose, when it will react with oxygen, or this glucose when it breaks down in presence of oxygen, it will form carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. This carbon dioxide will be released out from the leaf. Water will also be released out from the leaf in the form of water vapor, and energy particles they are utilized by the plants for the growth of the plants. Okay, so this is all about the respiration in plants. So here one important thing I am saying, you might have heard under trees. Why it is restricted at night to sleep under trees? Not that ghost will come. Why? Because at night plants will release carbon dioxide. During night, what happened? Plants will undergo respiration and they will release carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So it is quite dangerous to sleep under tree. If you are sleeping under tree at night, means if the carbon dioxide concentration will increase around you, then you might find suffocation. Okay, if you will sleep under the tree at night. That's why it is restricted to sleep under tree during night. But why it is advised to or why we can sleep under tree during day? Because during daytime plants they undergo photosynthesis and they release what? Oxygen. During daytime they will intake or they will take carbon dioxide from atmosphere and they will release oxygen to the atmosphere. That we have discussed in photosynthesis. But what happened during night? They will intake oxygen and they will release carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So here we can compare the two equations. Suppose here I am writing, this is the equation for what? Respiration. Okay, respiration means here we are mostly talking about the aerobic respiration. As I said, anaerobic respiration takes place by only some microorganisms. Okay, so here this is the equation for respiration. If I will write here the equation for photosynthesis, then what I can write? Just reverse to this. In presence of light and chlorophyll, I am not writing. Okay, so this is the equation for respiration, this is the equation for photosynthesis. We can compare the both. In respiration, oxygen is needed, oxygen is utilized and carbon dioxide is released. But in photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is utilized and oxygen is released. Got it? So you compare these two. Okay, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, it is just reverse to each other. That's why it is prohibited to sleep under tree during night. Got it? So we can see respiration in plants takes place by diffusion. As I said, plants do not have a special organ and they are taking carbon dioxide and oxygen by the stomata. Means as during daytime they got more amount of carbon dioxide. See, during daytime the pollution in the atmosphere will be more. Okay, due to the running of vehicles and industrialization and all. But that all carbon dioxide will be taken by the plants during daytime to undergo photosynthesis and they will release what? They will release oxygen to the atmosphere, so that gradually during night there will be more oxygen in the atmosphere as compared to day. So what happened? In the outside environment of the plant, it got more oxygen and inside it got less oxygen. So oxygen will diffuse inside the plant. Got it? So this is the tendency. Again, small description here I am giving. Here if we talk about a plant, just don't have a confusion of this topic. It is very important. So what happened during daytime? During daytime, due to pollution or as we animals, we are also exhaling carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. More carbon dioxide can be found in the atmosphere. Okay, the carbon dioxide concentration is more during daytime. So plants they got less carbon dioxide during day. That's why this more carbon dioxide concentration, due to the more carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere, carbon dioxide will diffuse in to the leaf so that they can undergo photosynthesis. But what happened during night? During night, as most of the carbon dioxide will be taken inside by what? Plant, and they will release what? During photosynthesis they will release oxygen. So during night the oxygen concentration will be more in the atmosphere and the oxygen concentration will be less inside the plant. That's why from the higher concentration more oxygen will be moved inside the plant. So here again I am defining Diffusion. What is diffusion? Movement of substances from higher concentration to lower concentration. Here we can see from higher concentration to lower concentration. At night also from higher concentration to lower concentration. So we can simply say either photosynthesis or respiration that takes place in plants, that is by diffusion process. Okay, the pores that they are using is stomata, and due to diffusion means the concentration gap, okay, the concentration between the atmosphere and inside the body of plant, due to the concentration gap, diffusion takes place during daytime, carbon dioxide during daytime and oxygen during night. Okay, so this is all about the respiration in plants. With this we have completed our chapter, and again go through the topic. Respiration is a very important topic. Okay, you again just practice the equations. This is the equation for photosynthesis. Okay, don't get confused. So this is the equation for respiration, this is for photosynthesis, this is for aerobic and anaerobic respiration. This is for aerobic and this is for anaerobic. Got it? So with this we have completed the chapter. Again revise it, again just go through your book. If you will get more doubts, then please ask me, okay, and we will have more discussion on the doubt. So in the next class we will move on to some more new topic.